What is going on? What is going on, family? What is going on, YouTube? I'm still in South Carolina. It just got through downpouring out here. I was actually going to come out here and get some footage, but a friend of mine, co-worker, he stopped to have a social down here at the hotel that we're staying in, and then we ended up basically chilling. So I never got outside before the rain ended. So now it's soaking wet out here. So I don't think I'm going to be riding anywhere. This video is going to be primarily from a new rider's perspective. So let's talk about the fact that I bought a 2024 Low Rider ST. What was it, billiard gray in color? That's the color. It's a gray car. It's a gray bike. So I think it was called billiard gray, right? And I rode that joker all across the country to Phoenix, Arizona and back, right? And you know, it was a great ride. I outfitted it the way I liked it. Everything was good. But then a few months later, I ended up, after talking to bikers and other seasoned riders, because you know I'm new at this, right? I ended up purchasing a 2024 Indian Pursuit Icon metallic ghost white, right, with the power band package, right? Outstanding everything. So I bought that, and you know, I learned some lessons, and I learned them the hard way. So one of the things I'll tell you I did was I bought the Low Rider ST, then I ended up buying the Dark Horse. Man, I gotta be honest with you, man. When I got done with the pipes and everything on the Low Rider, I was very excited, very happy with the outcome. The bike sounds amazing, it looks amazing, and it rides the way I expected it to ride. I really didn't have a problem with my shocks or my suspension, and I haven't done any work to it, so Harley did a great job. I was all in on the hype when it comes to Harley-Davidson. I mean, t-shirts, hats, events, things of that nature. But I didn't fully grasp how much I had to learn riding a bike, right? Especially the Low Rider ST was a small bike, so it was kind of like a cruising bike that was a starter bike, right? I had to learn U-turns, I had to learn slow speed balances, parking lot maneuvers. You know, it wasn't like a DCT, man, or a scooter, twist and go. No offense to my DCT folks out there, you know. Then I went and bought the Pursuit, the Indian Pursuit, and man, just, you know, just being real, it was next level, man. I test rode the Street Glide, I test rode the Road Glide, and I got to be honest with you, I sat on the Roadmaster, but then across the way I saw the Pursuit when I was at the dealership, and I was like, man, I want that bike right there. Wasn't even a question about it, right? Stereo, 100%, much better than what I was sitting on when I test rode the Harley. And I was probably riding the base model Road Glide Harley at the time, but I gotta tell you, in going to price out the packages for stereos and everything, I'd have been paying way more CVO ST money, you know, for a package I thought was maybe a little bit under what Indian had to offer for its premium package. You know, I was saying to myself, you know, because I was a new cruiser rider, I kind of got it in my mind that all I wanted to do was ride the cruiser because it was a smaller bike. It was a smaller version of the Road Glide. And the way I had it hooked up with the tour pack and, you know, the saddleman seat and highway pegs, it looked like a baby Road Glide, especially with the fairing on the Low Rider ST. But, you know, the lesson I learned was, you know, I didn't need to start small. Problem I have with that is starting small. You know, you'll hear a lot of different riders say, oh, that's not a good starter bike on this and that. Now, I have been off wheels for over 20 years, you know, for over two wheels for 20 years. And I'll tell you, a lot of people came to me and say, oh, you need to get this, you need to get that, get a Honda Rebel 500 and all this other stuff, right? Telling me different things I should do in order to get back on two wheels when I decided there was time. But I'm here to tell you, it's really about your personality. I don't think, you know, it was one of those situations where I wanted to ride small. I know that a content creator local to me named Rob Simmons, when he's doing U-turns, he'll tell you the size of the bike doesn't matter. I have to say I agree in that aspect. Yeah, it's scarier on a bigger bike, but I do agree that it is definitely something different and something we have to concern ourselves with. You know, when it comes to your comfortability. However, I do believe once you're comfortable, it really doesn't matter. I bust U-turns all the time. Now, I still need work. You know, I know Mr. Simmons has a thing about being the boss of your motorcycle, and actually from like, I think he says from 1 to 10, where he at. I mean, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I'm probably a 4, and I need to probably go to his class. I mean, but I'm confident enough to ride and make U-turns in the parking lot without putting my feet down for the most part. I just need to work at building up my courage, right? Because I mean, like I said, I've only been doing this since June of last year, of 24, and that's where I'm at with it. So I will tell you this too. The Tour Bike is made for those long hauls. It's made to ride, you know, comfortably for long periods of time. And unless you hook up your Low Rider ST, you're not really getting a forgiving ride. It's not really something that you can look at and say, you know, this is a good ride for me. Now, I am here to tell you my Low Rider ST is set up for long distance riding. I made it that way. Heat core seat, you know, Memphis hand shades, the saddlebag, saddleman back rest for my seat. I made it where I'm able to ride. I got a Hogworks tour pack. I made it where I could ride long distance, you know, and I got the Rick Rack suitcase system for it in case I decide I wanted to, you know, use a different packing system. I mean, you know, it's a less forgiving ride, so you have to consider that when you're riding a tour bike. You know, there are other expenses too. If you wonder where I'm at too, I'm in the parking lot of my hotel. I'm just kind of sitting here trying to stay out of the way, trying to stay away from people. But there are other expenses that I didn't really consider. You know, once I really started learning the nature of riding, I had to make sure that I understood the expense that came with it. And I guess what I mean by that, and I touched on this before, is the expense of, you know, other things like safety equipment, you know, jackets, airbag vests, helmets. You know, a lot of riders don't even wear airbag vests, and I get it. That's their prerogative. I'm a fan of airbag vests. I have several of them, actually. I have a Harley-Davidson branded one, Dianese. I have a Dianese one, a Tech Air. No, I have Tech Air. I have 2 Tech Air ones. I'm sorry. I have 2 Tech Airs. One is a leather vest one. I forgot the number on that. And I have a Tech Air 3, and which is kind of more of a flannel canvas material style. But I'm an advocate for the airbag vest. You know, I've had experience with one of them going off when I did a low speed maneuver in a parking lot when I first got my Harley, and I dumped it. You know, I was doing like 5 miles an hour, and I grabbed the clutch and the brake at the same time because felt like I was going too fast, and it just went plop, and the bag went off before I hit the ground. And so I think it saved me a lot of headache there, as far as, you know, maybe shoulder injuries and back injury. But also, you got to think about your gloves. You know, you got to protect your fingers, your boots, and then of course maintenance, man. These are things I did not know. You know, I suggest you do your research. Maintenance is super important. It's not just checking the air pressure, man. You got to check your oil on a regular basis. You got to check your chains, your belts, whatever your vehicle runs off of. You got to check, you know, the fluids per se, to make sure everything's working, you know, respectably, right? So always keep in mind that there are other maintenance issues that regarding your bike. You don't just, not issues, but other things you need to spend money on. You got to be prepared, is what I'm saying. And listen, for you younger people out here riding, let me keep it 100 with you. If you're under 25, your insurance is going to be kind of through the roof. So I would suggest that you consider shopping around, looking for different insurance. I have multiple bikes under one insurance, you know, and I got one insurance I'm going with. I have 2 insurances now, but here in a couple of days I'll be going with one insurance. I chose Dairyland. I have on the Indian. I'm going to move the Harley over under Dairyland. They have great rates. I don't get sponsored for them. Just check them out. You know, Progressive also offers, you know, motorcycle rates they say is good for bikers. But keep in mind, if you're under 25, it's gonna hit you hard, man. It's gonna hit you live. Bottom line, there are so many things I wish I had known regarding buying my motorcycle, and we can go on for hours, we can go on for days, but I'm not going to do that to you. You know, you get the point. The point of all of this is do your research regarding your motorcycle purchase, whatever you choose to buy. You know, I tell people all the time, this is not a Harley channel. This is not an Indian channel. This is a rider's channel. In my perspective, is as of right now, is of a new rider. So be prepared to, you know, do research on your purchase. Don't just go out here willy-nilly. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I ask a lot of questions, and maybe because I'm older, you know, a little bit more, you know, in tune with what I'm spending my money on. I didn't want to just make a knee-jerk purchase on, have a knee-jerk reaction to a purchase that I was buying, and I certainly didn't want to feel sorry for what I bought. So make sure you do your research. Things I wish I had known, you know. Weather, oh my gosh. Hey, we can talk about that one later on, but I've touched on it before. Look at my earlier videos regarding riding in the rain as a newbie. You'll be, you know, you got to be prepared for the weather, the proper wet weather gear, the proper boots. I wear, and again, I'm not sponsored by them, but I talk about things I like. I bought a couple pair of Indy Ridge boots, and let me tell you, I find them fantastic. I wore a set across country, and I did go through some rain, and my feet stayed dry. I had the waterproof one with my rain suit that I was wearing, which was a no-name brand I bought off of Amazon that just happened to work really well. And those boots, plus my heat suit, I wear hardwire. Was it hot wire? Right? I forgot. Hardwire. It works extremely well. Be prepared to, you know, experience this if you're riding. You will get caught in the rain. So anyway, listen everyone, if you got a bike in your garage collecting dust, pull it out, dust it off, gas it up, man, and enjoy the ride.